Is your breath bothering you? I'm talking about bad breath. Do you have that? Are you tired of dealing with bad breath? Do you know of anybody who's having that problem? Why does it get worse when we age? It can be frustrating because it affects our confidence in our personal and professional settings, right? I had a patient who complained of bad breath, and which really is very embarrassing because she's still young and it's affecting the way she interacts with people. I mean, she would often distance herself from others at arm's length because she's conscious about what this person who she's talking to might notice. It's not just a social inconvenience. We know that bad breath can also signal underlying oral health issues. Here are some practical tips. I'm not talking about medication here. Practical tips, strategies that you can do at home. By just understanding these causes and following these tips, you can maintain fresh breath and oral health as you age. Remember that a healthy mouth contributes to overall well-being. Hello everyone, it's Dr. Adelita. Hey, is your breath bothering you? I'm talking about bad breath. Do you have that? Are you tired of dealing with bad breath? Do you know of anybody who's having that problem? Why does it get worse when we age? It can be frustrating because it affects our confidence in our personal and professional settings, right? Picture this. You are at a social gathering. Maybe you're attending a wedding of a friend or a wedding of your son or daughter. Or maybe you're in a meeting, it is a business meeting. You're trying to focus on the conversation, but this nagging thought about your breath is bothering you, is at always at the back of your mind. It's more than just a superficial, concern, because you know that when you have bad breath, this can impact your interaction with how you how you show yourself, how you carry yourself in front of other people, talking to other people, and also affect the way how others perceive you. Now, today we're going to tackle the topic about how to get rid of bad breath, especially as we age. And bad breath in medical term is halitosis. Okay, it's not just a social inconvenience. I chose this topic because we know that bad breath can also signal underlying oral health issues. And since the mouth is part of our body, we ought to take care of that problem too. So join me as we explore on the causes of bad breath and practical tips to keep your breath fresh and your mouth healthy. Let's start by understanding why bad breath happens, especially as we age. Number one culprit: poor dental or oral hygiene. Poor oral hygiene. What that means is our dental habits. As we age, our dental routines, brushing your teeth, flossing, these become more challenging to maintain. Why? It's not because we get lazier when we're older, not just that, but because factors like arthritis, joint inflammation, talking about that, joint disease, or reduced dexterity or range of movement can make brushing and flossing less effective, allowing bacteria to settle or thrive in our mouth. So, poor oral hygiene equals less brushing, less flossing, or maybe you're doing it still 2, 3 times a day, but it's less effective because of current other medical problem or health problems. Maybe arthritis, you're having some joint issues, painful joints. You can hold your brush firmly enough like you did before. So poor oral hygiene is the most common culprit, right? Because when that is happening, then there's more chance for bacteria to settle in our mouth and cause problems. When we don't brush or floss adequately, a plaque, that's a sticky film of bacteria, builds up on our teeth, in our gums, in our mouth, and this plaque contributes to tooth decay or gum diseases that produce foul smelling gases and that cause bad breath. So that's the sequence. Okay. Now, another reason for bad breath is, especially as we age, is changes in our saliva production and composition. Mm-hmm. So as we age, our saliva production may reduce, often because of, you'll not probably think of it, but medications. Medications, most older people, most seniors are on medications, and some medications can cause mouth dryness because of decreased saliva production. And medications such as antihistamines or anti-allergy meds, and medical conditions like autoimmune disease that affects the salivary gland. One of the glands that makes saliva can be attacked by autoantibodies, right? So autoimmune disease can happen in the salivary glands and cause decreased saliva production. But medications do that also. So less saliva means less natural cleansing and neutralizing of acids in the mouth, thereby causing bad breath. These factors create an environment where bacteria can thrive. Bacteria will love that kind of environment, leading to persistent bad breath. Okay? That's why it's crucial to adapt our oral care routines as we age, ensuring that thorough cleaning to prevent that plaque buildup and maintain oral health. Now, another cause of bad breath is gum disease. The things like gingivitis or periodontitis, these are prevalent among adults. So gum disease, gum inflammation may lead to infection too. These tissues, this gum that surrounds the teeth, can be inflamed, and when they are inflamed, they create this bacteria infested pockets around the teeth that contributes to persistent bad breath. Okay. Now, last but not the least cause of bad breath is our diet and our lifestyle. That's right. Diet and lifestyle play a role in very significantly in causing bad breath. Foods like garlic and onions can temporarily cause bad breath due to their strong odors. And that is not to say that we should avoid these foods like garlic and onion because they have antioxidants too and phytochemicals. And in fact, that strong, um, odor is the antioxidant telling you they're present in it. So I think that it's very easy to counter that problem by brushing your teeth after you have a meal that's loaded with this strong uh, odor, strong flavored foods. Now, another thing that we should also keep in mind when we say lifestyle can contribute to bad breath is this: smoking. Smoking and excessive alcohol consumption. They can contribute to what? Dry mouth. And what did we say about dry mouth? When your mouth is dry, right? There's less saliva, the natural cleanser, and it also less chance to neutralize the acid in the mouth, making the environment more viable for bacteria and infection and inflammation, resulting to bad breath. So, smoking. So, studies show that um, uh, those who smoke, they have um, weaker immune defense. So smoking weakens your body's immune uh, defense by decreasing your body's infection fighters. Mhm. So this makes it harder when you already have, especially when you have existing gum infection or gum inflammation, just for that matter, just an inflamed gum. It makes it harder for the body to fight off infection in the setting of inflammation because they are just weak. And often, once you have the gum damage, smoking also makes it harder for your gums to heal. Okay, even not in the setting of infection yet, just inflamed gums, just inflamed gums. That's all you have. But smoking makes it harder for that gum to heal, right? What about alcohol? So studies have shown that regular alcohol users without gum disease or gum inflammation, um, they have more gum bleeding. They have more gum bleeding and more plaque than the non-drinkers. What about those with existing gum inflammation or infection, um, and you're an alcohol user? Well, it showed worsening incrementally with the frequency of consumption. So the more frequent you drink alcohol with pre-existing gum inflammation or infection, the faster the gum disease worsens. Okay? Now, also remember when you think of alcohol and the gum or alcohol in the mouth and bad breath, alcohol not only will it reduce your ability to heal the gums, but also it can decrease saliva production too. And remember what we say about saliva production: if it's reduced, right? So it can lead to dry oral environment, and it then allows bacteria to proliferate, causing oral odor. Those are the main causes of bad breath. Our task today is to figure out how can we combat bad breath and maintain fresh breath as we age. How can we combat that? Here are some practical tips. I'm not talking about medication here. Practical tips, strategies that you can do at home, right? First is maintain good oral hygiene habits, right? So when you're brushing your teeth, make sure you brush your teeth at least twice a day, and don't forget to floss. So cleaning your tongue also with a scraper can also remove some bacteria on it, and not just the teeth. You gotta if you have a soft, fine brush, you can also brush the top of your tongue to remove bacteria. Simple, right? Second, stay hydrated, because we don't want a dry mouth, right? As much as we are addressing the cause of dry mouth, we want to support the mouth by drinking water throughout the day. And drinking water helps also stimulate saliva production too. Not just keep the mouth wet, right, and moist, but it helps increase your saliva production, the natural cleanser of the mouth and acid neutralizer. Third tip for bad breath is to consider an alcohol-free mouthwash. So alcohol-free mouthwash, but with antibacterial properties to freshen your breath and reduce bacteria in hard to reach areas. Now, this is very, very practical, especially when you know that you couldn't brush your teeth well enough because you have arthritis, right? Or your range of movement, your wrist movement is not that great anymore, so you can't reach the far back a set of your teeth. Now, it is strongly advised that you do the mouth washing with alcohol-free mouthwash even after you brush your teeth. Okay, so that you're able to cover that part you can't reach with the toothbrush. Right. Now, fourth tip, chewing sugar-free gum or mints. They can what? Stimulate saliva production that will temporarily mask your bad breath caused by strong smelling food. Okay. Fifth, but not the least, treat your allergies. You may not know that you have sinus or nasal allergies, but I tell you what, I had a patient. I had a patient who complained of bad breath, and which really is very embarrassing because she's still young. And it's affecting the way she interacts with people. I mean, she would often distance herself from others at arm's length, right? At arm's length, so that because she's conscious about what this person who she's talking to might notice if she brought she said if I bring myself close to their faces, now I cannot concentrate in what I have to say because my mind is on to, oh my gosh, does this person smell my could this person smell my breath? So that's how bad it was. So when she opened that up to me, and I reviewed her history, her medical history, I asked her if she had been having a postnasal drip. Now, for those of you who don't know postnasal drip, the postnasal drip is when um, your nose or your and sinuses has increased mucus production, and you know this because you can notice it. You have excess mucus production in your nose or your sinuses, and it doesn't drip out from your nostril, but it drips to the back of your mouth, of your throat. And that's post nasal drip. Okay. Now, the most common cause of excess mucus production of your nose and sinuses is allergy. So I asked her about that. It turns out she's allergic to strong fragrance. And she's been using the air freshener in her car, and in her home too. So of course, we know that we can silence allergies. We know that with dietary change. Hmm. And that's what she did. So she started because it is um, an allergy in her sinuses, and she noticed more of the dripping when she smells something strong odor. She started eliminating any fragrance that she can smell, particularly in her house and in her um, car. And she herself hasn't worn cologne or perfume. And guess what? Her bad breath was cured because we were able to silence her allergies, her sinus allergies, nasal allergies. Therefore, no dripping, no increased mucus production, and then that just eliminated the chance for bacteria to set in and cause um, problems. Now you might wonder, well, that's just in the nose. So what does that have to do with the mouth? Well, you got to remember your mouth and nose. Um, they are kind of an open compartment and open compartment. When I say open, they are interconnected, right? Interconnected. And that's why if you can't breathe through your nose, you can breathe through your mouth, right? So know that this structure here may be the one contributing to your bad breath. And allergy is the most common culprit. Now, so I hope that that kind of give you some ideas to pick on. Perhaps some of it resonate with you. Regular dental checkups are still very important, crucial, because your dentist can detect and treat oral health issues very early, and if you can intervene at an early stage, the better, because then you're able to prevent bad breath and more serious conditions. Now, if you're experiencing dry mouth, stay hydrated, investigate what's causing it, Maybe you want to talk to your healthcare provider, your doctor about saliva substitutes, or review the medications that you're on because your doctor may be able to find some or maybe a few of your medications that have known side effects of dry mouth. Finally, if you smoke or consume alcohol on a regular basis, reducing or quitting. That's the best. These habits can significantly improve your oral health and reduce bad breath. See, by just understanding these causes and following these tips, you can maintain fresh breath and oral health as you age. Perhaps you don't need to be on any medication or more, extensive testing, unnecessary testing by your regular doctor, but just doing this strategies first in your own um, home. Remember that a healthy mouth contributes to overall well-being. Mouth is still part of your body. You cannot uh, neglect that, right? If you found this information helpful, please like, subscribe, or comment with down there in our comment section. Who knows, you could be um, sharing a very important tip that you've learned, your own strategies to somebody else who's battling with bad breath, and they could also benefit from what you know too. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.